Welcome in the Parenting Revolution channel. I am Christophe Franck, author of several books about parenting, education, and the meaning of life. In this ninth video dedicated to the concept of the parenting revolution, I wanted to speak about parenting by blood links, how communities thrive. In fact, parenting is a mindset, as I explained in other videos, and this mindset is aimed to help next generation to thrive. So the responsibility of a generation is to do their best to help next generation to be in a more favorable context to thrive than themselves, so that generation after generation we improve the quality of life and the well-being of humans, of society, in society. So this is part of the consequences of the spiritual spiral of the virtuous spiral I speak about in other videos. So this is what we give ourselves as a generation. So in the consequence of that is that parents, they cannot be all fair for their children. In my last book, Parenting the New World, Giving Birth to a Thriving Humanity, I quote an African proverb on page 81. It takes a whole village to educate a child. This is in fact what we experienced here in Samaipata in Bolivia, and in our journey of education, I would say. But in fact, the parents were more dedicated to the little kids altogether, to the two parents, and then when they grew up with more inner peace and confidence and autonomy, reaching the pre-adolescence around 11, 12 for most of them, except the last one, he started earlier. They want to discover outside of the family. You know, they want to discover the society, the local society, have friends, and know how the families are living, and go outside of the limited space where the family is evolving, is anchored. You know, so this is what I experienced, and in that love, with that love for my children, I decided really to focus on presence when they were younger, and when they are adolescents, more on following them in their discovery of local society. It has been also part our way to integrate in local society through our children who made friends. We ourselves became friends of the parents of the friends of our children, you know, or we had contact with schools, and then with people offering activities after school, like chess or dance, or etc. So we had links with other people in the local society through our children and their connections. So, and in my experience, I speak about that especially in another book, like Denise, Make Your Life. It's about adolescents. I explain how, because this child, Denise, the second one, expressed this desire, this dream to become a plane pilot when he was 12, and we arrived just the day of his birthday of 12 years old in Bolivia. I was obsessed by this desire to find support for him in his stream because I am not technique. I am agronomist. I'm more sensible to plants and relationships with people, but not technique at all. I seek for support for him so that I was able to find someone. Here he is 12, and I found a former engineer in aeronautic who retired in Bolivia, his home country, after a career in the United States. So I put them together, and this connection gave my child the opportunity to make his dream come true. You know, here is 17. The cat is coming. He's 17, and he's flying in a plane he was able to build in Samaipata. So 5 years after this connection with this man, he was gifted this opportunity to make a practice building the plane, and then he went to Canada. Now he's in Canada 10 years later. He's a Canadian citizen, and he owns two companies, one plane, and he works for a company of helicopters, managing all the avionics of 52 helicopters, if I remember, in Canada. So this is to document what's happening thanks to what I call co-education. So adults as a whole, I would say, like a family, the community seen as a community, the community seen as a family, is in charge, has the responsibility globally to rise to educate next generation. It's not only the responsibility of the parents. What is the natural responsibility of parents? It's natural. They conceive the children, they should welcome them, so manage the childbirth together, because it's the fruits that they harvest, and then they create a favorable context for the little seeds, little plants, I would say, as an analogy or a metaphor, to grow properly until it reach a certain size. So it's for the children is after the change of teeth, at least for after 7, they start another step in their life, a step of expansion, and then it's the beginning of outside of family relationships, you know. And at that time, when the child express his center of interest, we can seek for support for them. I have girls who were more artists, so they had the opportunity to learn a painting, and as well they learned in another family, because my girls were and until now they are in a family who is managing a resort. So they learn about cooking, about in the restaurant, about welcoming clients, about the business, the economy of the business, the lifestyle that goes with that. So this is another kind of co-education I had in my family. And the last point I wanted to share is very important as well, is when the children, they experience that this closest support of the parents when they are little ones, and then a co-education when they are adolescent. As adults, they tend to cooperate. They tend to generate a society not of competition but of cooperation. Why? Because they felt this support they received when they were young, and thanks to this support, they are following their path, they are following their joy, they are contributing to society from their point of view, from what animate them, what I call their destiny. They are living their destiny so that they are transforming society just as they are, and they seek for cooperation to reach their goals, who are to thrive within society as it is, as imperfect as it is, but following their personal uh, vocation, I would say, their inner call, their man's life, you know. This is natural that. So the society is imperfect, and all my proposal, Parenting the New World, is exactly about realigning society with what it should be, and it should be a world of cooperation, in which local community thrive because they understand how to educate next generation together, sharing their skills and their centers of interest with next generation, and supporting every family for the very beginning of life so that they have no other worries, they have a place to live. In my book about childhood, I speak about the importance of nature for that. So I recommend an earth-based lifestyle for family. So the local community will strive if it can provide on the territory spaces for families connected to nature, and then in the centers, I would say the hubs or the villages, the little cities, or human-sized towns, they welcome next generation all together to support them thrive in the context they have created. And this is about that. For that I am committed here in Samaipata. So I want to create that with a local community, and I will move in that direction of the parenting revolution.